this right now.
The phone needs to be put away.
Okay.
It's gonna be recording. No, like away.
Okay.
Not recording.
Like now.
Okay. What's today's date? The 14th? 15th? Today's date? 10 dot.
What is it? History of the microscope.
12. And the phone is going away.
Alright, Linnea, I don't want to hear you talk anymore.
Got a rubber in my pocket and I'm talking like this.
Alright, guys. So, we are going to learn about the history of the microscope. And like I said, I'm going to move quickly, so you need to limit your distractions and just stay on like 8 slides. Okay? So,
History
a microscope, all a microscope does is it takes something small.
microscope. It's a cockroach. Close the door.
Okay, are we done and ready to move on, ladies and gentlemen?
I want to learn about microscopes.
Okay. Stop talking. History of the microscope. Okay, so all a microscope does, you guys, is it takes something very small and makes it bigger. Okay? So this
Are you getting this down,
idea-
Ruben? Okay, good.
Stop talking! Dennis, that includes whispering. What, Sergio? The title is The History of the Microscope, like was on the title page. Okay, so this idea of making small things larger, the very first sort of technology that was invented was this really simple reading stuff. And it was about 1,000 years ago. And all it is, you guys may have seen it in like people's offices. They use them as paperweights now or decorations. It's just a curved piece of glass. Okay? And you place it on top of an image or letters or whatever, and it makes it bigger, just like that. Okay? So, it was pretty crude, and it wasn't very sophisticated, but it was 1,000 years ago. Okay, go ahead.
Laid on top.
Go ahead. Alright, Danny has trouble with the,
I didn't even finish writing it.
you guys need to move quickly. I said we were moving quickly on this.
Ugh.
Guys,
See, I'm gonna
please
show my mom
stop
this video.
talking. Dakota, that one doesn't work. By the way,
I need a pencil.
I have a little ghetto one on the desk here.
A ghetto one?
No.
Eddie, where's your pen?
Welcome to the hood.
Welcome to.
Alright. Mariana. Okay, so Joey. Just ignore her.
You guys, we're never gonna learn about freaking micros. What are we learning about? What are they called? God, what are they called? No, Ruben, what are they called? Ruben, what are they called?
Microscopes.
Microscopes. Microscopes. Scope means to look or view.
So, from that like rested on your nose, and they were like miniature of those reading stones shoved inside some metal. So all it did was magnify. It didn't make things clearer the way glasses make things clearer now. It just made them bigger. Okay? Eric, you've been in this class for like a week, and you're already irritating me. You might want to fix your attitude. You probably should be sharpening it over the trash. If that's all over the floor, I'm going to have you come in and vacuum for the janitor. I said you should probably be doing that over the trash can.
I'll make sure it gets the trash can.
Alright, in 1590,
You love when rapists touch you.
we had our first sort of leap towards a microscope. Okay? Now, a modern microscope, a modern compound microscope, looks like this. Okay? And, yeah, you should have. And microscopes, this kind of microscope anyway, it has two lenses. It has a lens in here and then it has a lens in here. And it's for just making things bigger. Okay? And this, right, that was almost 500 years ago, had the same design. It had two lenses in it. It had a lens here and it had a lens here. But it was just lenses that were shoved inside a tube. It wasn't quite as, complex.
Biology's boring.
Okay? But from this sort of old-fashioned looking, not very sophisticated design, eventually we get this. And it also led to the invention of the telescope. Because the telescope is essentially the same thing, right? Even though things that you're viewing through a telescope might be big, we're trying to make things bigger because they're so far away. Yeah, Antonio.
Yeah, like
You tell me.
Oh my
Then yes.
god. Biology sucks.
Okay, go ahead.
How am I supposed to get all this down? Like, when you only spend like 10 seconds on the
I
slide.
need you to highlight his name or put some stars by it or something. Because this guy's really important. His name is Robert Hooke, and he's really important to biology.
What to do?
Why is he so important, Miss Baker?
So, thank you for the enthusiasm, Brandy. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Ew, don't pat me on the back.
Don't do what?
Right around 350 years ago, okay, he was using a telescope, I'm sorry, not a telescope, a microscope that looked like this. Okay? It's a little bit closer to that design we have now, but again, it's not super sophisticated, right? But he's looking through a microscope like that, and he took a sliver of cork. You know what cork is? Like they use in a wine bottle? Okay? And
It's like
cork is just dead plant cells.
Really?
Really.
I had no idea. So that's
Okay,
very
so
interesting.
What he did is he cut a sliver of that cork. Stop talking, Alan. He cut a sliver of that cork, so just a really thin piece, looked at it through a microscope, and he was the very first person to call the little boxes, cells. Now he was looking at dead cells, so it was basically just empty boxes, right? Empty space. But he was the first person to identify that there were distinct separate cells inside that core.
So he invented the word cell.
Yes, he did. Okay? And additionally, you guys, he wrote about what he saw through a microscope
I'm gonna kick your butt.
in this book called Micrographia.
How would he already like kick them like in
It's the
twice?
first time anybody wrote about looking at things through a microscope.
Dumbass.
So as familiar as we are with microscopes and that we can see things that are very small, back then, him writing about it was kind of groundbreaking too. to the public?
I need that to write about Miss Baker. Go back. I swear to goodness. I'm gonna like have a beat. But stop that.
So what?
That's very inappropriate. I'm trying to learn about biology, and you're sitting here writing down
I looked
about.
at you and you said,
$500 microscope on your table. Knock it off.
You know I'm gonna copy off you. You know what? No, don't even start that shit.
You don't need to write down every single thing on a slide. Okay? Would you text all of those words?
No, no.
If you are pissed, I would have been faster if you. I think I would have.
Probably. If we were texting, we would have had this down like before like the slide was even done loading.
Yeah, you could bring anything to school. It's not nice or good.
Alright, I'm moving on. Don't touch that.
sounds legit.
Yep.
Okay, our next advancement that's really important in the microscope,
Damn it,
that really
Ruben.
actually matters, comes from this guy, Anton van Leeuwenhoek.
Ew. Don't ever breathe like that again. Ew. Stop it. Anton van Leeuwenhoek.
Joey, please stay out of those drawers. Dennis, stop talking. Joey, stop talking. Mariana.
Ew. Ew, don't hit me.
Okay, so what's important about this guy is that basically the important part is that he found a new way to grind the lens down to make it be able to magnify 270 times, which is
Look at your head's an
for,
eraser.
350 years ago. That's
Actually, I
pretty
can help.
impressive. Okay, so it still is just this glass lens, but he ground it down in a special way that made it be able to make the image much bigger. Okay? But it wasn't like this kind of microscope that like stands up like this. It was
Ew, it feels
actually
really
something
weird.
that you held to your eye. And you just looked through.
Miss Forrester! Give me $1.
Mommy on top. Fuck you too.
Ew. Wait,
Okay? And then after this guy, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Was that closer? That didn't sound right, huh? So after this dude,
No, they're not. Oh, you know what? You know what? Go suck on your girlfriend's clit.
Alright.
Ew.
I have no problem with that.
No problem whatsoever.
Mariana, stop touching the microscope. You are like a little kid. Knock it off.
I told you I was gonna do it. You
Okay.
didn't. I just like.
Can you be quiet? I'm trying to learn. Thank you.
Alan, Eric, Mariana, Joey, and Justice. You guys are getting teleparents home tonight. FYI. Because you guys cannot stop talking. Okay?
Oh my god. I know me.
And
What did you say, Yarvin?
after today, if it's still a problem, we're going to take a walk and go talk to Mr. Craig. Okay? I'm done.
Just make sure.
So,
No, she never said your name.
after this guy, a bunch of stuff happened, and a bunch of people made it better, but I decided you didn't need to know about all that. And basically, microscope, which you guys will learn all the parts, all the names of the parts, and kind of how it works. Maybe today. It depends on the time. Okay? But what we do have, go ahead. That's really cool. Now,
What is that
the electron
shit?
microscope. Okay? And the electron microscope, Dennis, you're about to get one too. And the electron microscope was invented by this guy, Ernst Röska.
Who?
I don't know why they all have to have really weird names. Why can't it be like James?
Because they're all German. Because they're Russian.
Because it was back in the 18,000s when nobody knew names.
He came up with this idea. In 1931, he came up with this idea, among other people, of the electron microscope. And
Damn it,
basically
Ruben, look
it
what you
does,
fucking did now.
this tube in here is a vacuum. Not like a vacuum that sucks. It's like a vacuum without
A vacuum that sucks.
without gravity in it. And
Highlights.
they shoot around a bunch of electrons. Okay, remember we learned about the atom with protons, neutrons, and electrons on the outside? And the electrons are so tiny that they don't even have mass. So basically what they do is they shoot around a bunch of electrons into that vacuum, and they bounce them off whatever they're trying to look at, and you can get images of things as small as an atom. Yes. Yes. Or like opposite, maybe. Okay, so this
Do
guy
you know a leopard can
won
carry
the
3
Nobel
times its
Prize
weight?
in Physics
Yeah.
for this, along with
I
$1
don't know how
million.
to joke but at least if we just like stop talking,
I
at
could
least,
use
go,
$1
at least I
million.
learned something.
Yeah.
She's not
Like what they did and like.
How am I? We're sitting here trying to have a nice conversation about leopards carrying 3 times its own weight.
Do you?
So, our very last advancement, what we use now, what the most sophisticated thing
Write
we
that
have
down.
now is our scanning electron microscope. And it basically does the same thing. You guys stop talking. It basically does the same thing as the electron microscope, but it's just a little bit more sophisticated in that it gets a 3D image. So rather than just being like a flat image, you know, where there's not much depth to it, it's 3D. Yes. Okay? And these are really expensive, like millions of dollars. And I, in all my years of college as a science major, saw one once and never got to use one.
Why?
Because they're very expensive.
Oh.
But if you went to graduate school, if you were like a physics major or a chemistry major or something in graduate school, then you'd probably get to use one regularly. But they're just really expensive. They have them at universities, and then maybe like private research labs.
Oh, this is raw. Wait, what does that say?
I saw one. I wasn't in graduate school.
After. My God, why aren't you listening? I'm trying to ask a question.
Mostly compound light microscopes like the ones we
Yes, Frankie.
Oh, okay. What is that? Okay. It says.
ours are.
What's the guy's name?
The higher quality.
Gerben.
No, the after one. The high. Stop it, Ruben. Stop it. I'm not doing anything.
I'm not doing it. Fucking 20 fucking minutes.
19. Dumbass.
No, oh, wait. Oh, 20 minutes.
I want to see how long I can record for. 20 minutes left.
No.
Yeah. 20. No, you don't.
7.
Okay, yeah. Did I hit you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay, Ruben. I know how it feels not to be loved. I don't know.
My mom loves me. You're like, that's not what she told me last night.
Ooh. I a rubber in my pocket, and I'm talking like this. Ruben!
Okay.
Bitch. Turn them on, Ruben.
Crack or something.
No, it isn't. Okay.
So, guys, I'm going to try and get through as much of this as I can.
Oh, we learned this in like 8th grade.
I don't know why
Remember
you're
we did
hitting me.
this? I'm serious, Ruben. I'm serious. Remember this is like the eyepiece? And ew, Joey. Stop.
I'm fucking done. Moving.
No. Ruben. Sit down. Ew. Ew, stop that. That's nasty. Miss Baker. Hi. I'm hyper. Fucking seal, like,
Okay, so we need to try and fill in this worksheet together, okay? And I'm going to show you on the actual microscope because your picture's not that great on there. So I'm going to show you what it's pointing to and what it actually looks like, okay? So if everybody can look at letter A. Letter A is pointing to this black piece up here.
it's an eyepiece.
And this is called the eyepiece. Okay, eyepiece.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything turn around.
See, I told you, we learned this in 8th grade.
Right eyepiece, guys. It's not rocket science.
For some people, it is. Like Ruben, you know, he has this mental problem going on there.
Where is there?
Up there, Ruben, up there. Ooh, I swear to God, you push me. I swear to God, penis off.
Like
Beat it to a dolphin.
I like my penis.
Wait for the dolphin to like shit it out. Give it to you as a birthday present. Ew, how are you doing that?
You guys,
Smack.
if this doesn't get better,